Okay, today we're going to be talking about 5 mistakes your ex will hate you for making. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. And in this video, we're talking about some common mistakes that people often make that really set themselves back and really lowers your ex's opinion of you in their eyes, and sometimes might even make them actually hate you. So the very first one is validation seeking. You know, if you're just like looking to your ex for some sort of validation or trying to, make sure that you are significant to them in some way, that's not going to go over well. It's not going to really give them a positive experience of you or a positive impression of you. I've seen people, obviously do this in extreme sorts of ways where it's just like, hey, please just tell me that I still mean something to you, right? Like that's obviously validation seeking. It's obviously going to come across as desperate and needy. There's also other ways of validation seeking as well too. That can be much more subtle, such as, calling them out on small things, like, oh, hey, like you didn't text me back after 2 hours or something. Like, what's up with that? Again, it depends on the circumstance, but most of the time, if you don't text someone back after 2 hours, it implies that there's something else going on that's eating away at you. But yeah, validation seeking is definitely something that you don't want to do. You want to be able to take care of yourself and nourish and nurture and stay grounded and centered yourself so that you don't have to do this validation seeking, okay? Because they don't want to prop you up emotionally. They don't want to be responsible for your emotional state and your feelings and all that sort of stuff. Just as the same way, you don't want to be emotionally responsible for probably anyone else's emotional world or feelings or anything. Learn how to handle your own emotions if you need to, but that's definitely one common mistake. Mistake number 2 is putting your entire life on hold as the result of the breakup. Now again, I get it. Breakups are tough. You're going to get a lot of emotions coming up as the result of this. I mean, you're just a human, right? It's going to happen. I don't want you to put your whole life on hold for this. Like if you need to for a couple of days, do the whole staying at home, sulking kind of thing, that's fine. I think we've all been there. After you're able to stand on your own 2 feet again, get out there and live the best life that you possibly can, okay? Your ex doesn't want to look at you and again feel responsible for your emotions to the point where it's like, oh yeah, look, this person has completely collapsed as a human being because of this breakup that happened. Like that's not going to be very inspiring for them to want to get back together with you. It's also going to make them sort of resentful of you because it's like, oh, well, you need me to hold you up. Like I don't want that kind of responsibility. You need me in order to have a good productive life. I don't want to have that responsibility. And so again, we want to be mindful of this, and we want to not make this mistake with our ex as well too. I know it can be tough, and again, if you're having the totally normal emotional experience of feeling sad or heartbroken after a breakup, fine, feel that, but don't further agitate it by telling yourself these stories about how your life is over, about how you'll never be able to move on, about all these sorts of things, okay? Because I can promise you, you'll be able to pick yourself up, and you can do this, and you're going to make it. It's going to be okay. But you have to take responsibility for your own life, and you have to be able to pull yourself out of this if you need to. The third mistake is that people may actually go out of their way to try to make their ex feel bad about breaking up with them. They might try to guilt trip them in some form or other by either trying to parade out how miserable they are, parade out how sad they are, or how their life is just like in a bad state. But again, this is something that your ex is going to not appreciate and may actually start to hate you for, because especially if they can see right through you. And I promise you, people are better at seeing this than you might realize. They're going to be able to see right through this many times, and they're going to say, okay, I see what you're doing here. You're just trying to guilt trip me into this. You're trying to guilt trip me into getting back together with you. As we've talked before, your actions reveal your character, and if this is what your character is, and this is what your actions are revealing your character as, you're really not setting yourself up for actually having a great ability to reconnect with your ex and have a great chance of reuniting with them, because you're leaving such a negative impression on them that, hey, I'm going to guilt trip you if you break up with me, or I'm going to guilt trip you if you, don't do, whatever it is that I want you to do. Instead, just ask for what it is that you want, or just have a normal emotional experience and try to engage with your ex as a normal person, rather than trying to manipulate them emotionally like this. That's an important one there. Mistake number 4 is becoming bitter and cynical towards your ex in general, or men or women, or love or relationships, or whatever it might be. It's not an attractive thing. I know that sometimes people think that they're empowering themselves by having this mindset of like, yeah, all women suck because of this, or all men are terrible because of that. But really, it doesn't make you seem as cool as you might think it makes you seem. It doesn't make you seem as hard as you think it might make you seem. It doesn't make you seem as much of a badass as maybe you might think it might make you seem. It just makes you seem like you're broken and damaged, honestly. At least to healthy, well-adjusted people. What you want to do is you want to really just come to terms with whatever happened, if you need to, but don't let it harden into this cynicism or bitterness that so many people carry around with them when a relationship doesn't work out. Because the bitterness and the cynicism, it's not helping you in any way. It really isn't. And when your ex looks at you and they say, oh, look at how bitter and cynical you've become, they're just going to say, wow, look, I really dodged a bullet on that one, or isn't that so sad that this person is this way, or something like that. We really don't want to embody this. We don't want to step into this one at all. Then mistake number 5 is that people often will try to play mind games or make their ex jealous, or some other way try to manipulate their ex. And of course, mind games are not going to help you a lot, which is why oftentimes people are so secretive about this whole process of trying to get back together with their ex. It's because there's so many people out there that are saying, hey, you need to play mind games, you need to use reverse psychology. And these aren't things that people would proudly tell the world about. It's not like, yeah, I'm a reverse psychology. I learned reverse psychology and mind games in order to save my relationship. She thought she was going to get away, but I made her crawl back to me by paying people on Craigslist to pose in photos with me so that she would become jealous. No. That's not something that people are proud of. And so what we want to do is we want to obviously not do that. When someone finds out that you're intentionally trying to manipulate them, that's going to really color that person's view of you. It's going to cause them to not see you in a positive light, because you weren't being direct and genuine and straightforward with them. And instead what you were doing was you were trying to manipulate them in some way, trying to pretend that things were somehow other than what they actually were, trying to pretend that your feelings were other than what they actually were. And this is probably just going to cause them to see you in a way where they might see you as someone who's petty, someone who's indirect, someone who can't ask for what they want, someone who can't be open to actually having a human adult conversation with someone. And so you really want to be careful about this. I know that there are a lot of people out there that do advocate mind games and trickery and reverse psychology and playing hard to get and all this sort of stuff. But you really don't want to do this. I can promise you that. At least if you want to have a great long-term relationship with your ex. Like if you just want to get back together so that you can break up again next week, sure, okay. But that's not what I'm interested in doing. I want to help you to have a great, amazing, wonderful relationship that could be the one that lasts you for the rest of your life. But that's only going to be able to happen if you're able to have an actual, mature, adult, secure, stable kind of interaction with someone. And you're not going to be able to do that by playing mind games, by using all this reverse psychology BS or anything like that. You got to just show up as an adult. You got to have a good adult interaction with each other and build a strong emotional connection. And if that's something that you want to learn how to do, please check out this video series right over here on advanced relational skills. It'll go into this in a lot more detail, and it'll help you out when it comes to creating a great, strong connection with your ex. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next video.